Building a business that has the potential to dominate the global market is a complex and hard thing to do. Top entrepreneurs who have built market-dominating products, raised millions in venture capital, and gained millions of users are ready to reveal their path to success. Get ready for an evening of insights you can definitely benefit from. Welcome to Podim Founders All-Star Night. It's time to start Podim with a blast. It's time for Podim's Demo Day. We've got more than 100 startups pitching on 4 tracks. Each of them hopes to advance to the finals, earn the grand prize, and get an investment. Let's hear the next big idea.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Podim 2021. We can't wait for this moment to start. We were working so hard for so long, and we are finally here. This is the pre-conference day where we will have the demo day and the evening all-star founders talk in front of us. My name is Urban, and I will be your host today, together with my lovely co-host Diana Floresco from Grai Ventures. Diana, how are you?
Awesome. I'm good. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much. It's actually my first time at Podim.
Really?
Ever. Yes. And under what circumstances, right?
Yeah. I mean, the virtual, events and virtual, reality has, brought us closer. So it's great that you are here, and I'm so much looking forward to upcoming 3 days.
Me too.
So today we have a demo day ahead of us, where there will be more than 120 startups pitching. And there is a big crew of Tovarna Podim and the Podim organizers waiting, hardly waiting to demo day to kick off. So first what we'll do is to get to our lovely team in the demo day facilities and say hi to them. So I first would like to say hi to Peter Hopwood, our lovely host. Peter.
Hi. Hopefully you can hear me. Absolutely. We've got. Can you hear me? I'm not sure if you can hear me.
I hear you. The sound is not super perfect, but I'm sure that you will fix this a little. Little things. You have still some minutes to fix. So, Peter, demo day. Are you excited?
Absolutely. We've got fantastic lineup today here on my track. 32, 33 big ideas to share with everybody. So I'm intrigued really as much as you are, and our investors, and everybody that's with us today to really unpack them and find out really their value and really see how maybe we can collaborate with them in the future as well. So definitely exciting day ahead.
Peter, one question. You have, moderated and many pitching competition, etc. Right? So tell me, who is more nervous at that moment of the time? You as a moderator, as a host, or startups that are preparing for their 3-minute moment?
That's pretty easy. Listen, definitely the startups. If you have a big idea, you've been working on it for a while, this is your chance to shine. And you don't want to mess it up. You want to do the best you can. So the more prep you put into it, the more energy you put into it, hopefully the better results as well. So in terms of that anxiety, I'm sure right now everybody has a level of anxiety. But again, it's all about how you deal with that and how you show it. But at the end of the day, if every startup that's sharing their pitch today or any demo day, all they really need to know is, think about the value they're sharing. They're sharing this big idea, almost a secret that they have that nobody else knows yet, and they're about to share that with the world. So think about that. That'll make you feel good. That'll make people feel what you're feeling, and then hopefully they'll be on the same wavelength as you as well in terms of the value of the idea.
Thanks, Peter, and good luck at the demo day. I'm now moving to Anna Marie. Anna Marie, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you.
Good. So all ready, all set?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, cool. Can't wait for all the startup speeches. So this is your first demo day, like a moderator. You're super well prepared. Yeah, wish you good luck and talk to you later. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
And now move on to Valentina. Valentina, hi.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm excited. I think I'm even more excited than our startups. So.
All right, that's good to hear. So we put you in front of the driver's seat this year. So last year we already there on the demo day. So super great to have you, and
Thank you.
all the best. Looking forward for all the feedback that you will get.
Thank you.
And now Nomi.
Hi.
Hi Nomi. How about you? How are you?
I'm really excited. I think I really can't wait to meet the jury members and the startups, and I can't wait to see what ideas they will pitch this year.
All right. So approximately how many startups do you have in your stream? Is this 10, 20, 30?
I have 32 startups this year.
All right. So you have the full stack of the demo day packed with startups. This will be an exciting afternoon. Thank you so much for being with us. Wish you all the best and talk to you later.
Thank you, Urban.
Well, now, before we move to our, partners that enable us the conference and are also an active part of the demo day, tell me, you also have a rich startup background. Ever participated in demo days? What's your, let's say, what are your thoughts?
Sure.
Going through?
Yeah, well, I participated, I pitched myself, and I organized demo days. So I've been kind of looking at perspectives from all these three different angles. I was listening to you and Peter talking about people's getting, a bit obviously nervous when pitching. I was in that seat as well, so I think it's really nerve-wracking, but I also think it's so rewarding when you're doing it right. So looking forward to the demo day this year at Podim. I think you have an amazing lineup of startups. You're also looking into Central Eastern Europe, which is a region that I look more and more towards, and luckily more investors are looking towards. And I want to ask you a question this time, Urban. What sort of countries are you looking at when it comes to Podim? Because obviously we're in Slovenia right now, but you have such a broad range of startups applying to Podim. Where are they coming from?
Yeah, so they are coming mainly from CE region, but altogether we have startups from 19 countries.
Wow.
So it's a really, colorful bunch of startups. Also they are from different sectors. They are in the different stages. So it's really like a colorful group of really interesting companies, founders. And today we'll see more than 120 presenting in 4 parallel tracks.
Right.
And the point of the demo day is to select 10 startups that will proceed in the Podim pitching competition semifinals.
That's very fierce.
Yeah.
Getting just to 10 for the semifinals, that's very fierce.
So there's a great responsibility on the judging committee, but we have experienced investors there. So we trust them with their jobs. So we're looking forward to hear in the next studio in the evening, who will be the 10 semifinalists.
Me too. And I think as a lot of us here, obviously we are on the Podim platform. I've also registered, so I have my my platform and my profile there. There's a lot of startups that are networking. I think you probably had a look at some of the numbers, but can you tell us some of the connections that have been made already? I think a lot of startups have connected with investors. Do you have a rough number in mind?
Yeah, so the main platform that we use for one-to-one meetings is Podim Deal Room, which is a platform. It's excellent. We've been using it for years. Our friend Erdal and his company is doing really a great job. And we have over 650 already booked meetings. So it will be crazy in
People are not
next
going to
days.
have time to listen to us
That's
talking.
I'm
They're going
afraid
to be
of.
networking.
That's what I'm afraid of. No. But this is the main point. This is one of the main values also of the conference, not only the program, but also the networking.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm here.
Cool.
And obviously presenting with you, but networking is a huge part of these conferences.
Great. And one of the, I would call them like deal room ninjas is Julien Costary from Fil Rouge Capital. Hi, Julien.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Hi, Julian.
So you are, of course, one of the most active investors with all of your colleagues in the deal room. Do you approximately know how many meetings you already booked?
Look, it keeps coming, and just for tomorrow I have 12, and I think it keeps coming. So by Wednesday it will be probably double that, and it's 5 of us at Fieldworks Capital doing screening. So that's about 20 meetings each. So that's going to be about 100 meetings just for us.
Great. Fantastic, Julien. The Fieldworks Capital, again, is a lawyer partner, Golden Unicorn partner. Thank you again for your support and great cooperation. We super appreciate this. Again, the meetings and the deals are the main reason that you are here with us. What are your expectations from this year, Podim?
I mean, the same, for us, Podim is a great deal flow generator. So I guess it's meetings and screenings. That's what it is all about. Since we cannot meet in person, which of course we probably all miss, I think it's going to have to be over Zoom, and that's what Podim is all about, deal flow.
Right, and Julian, we haven't had the chance to meet just yet. I know you've been at Podim for a while, so it's great to have you here. You just mentioned about deal flow. A lot of startups are obviously listening in right now. I'm curious, what sort of exciting trends are you looking to invest in?
I mean, look, the exciting trends. I mean, I think anything that has recurring revenue these days is pretty hot. So, that's, I would say, this is the exciting trend. If you look at various reports from the industry in terms of valuation, not so long ago, a recurring revenue was valuating itself at about 10x on the private equity market. There are reports recently going out that we are probably getting close to the 30x these days. So I think that's probably where we are looking at being in terms of sector. The usual suspects are pretty hot for us: the fintech, insurtech, logistics, deep tech. All those are pretty exciting for us.
And do you have a specific geography you're looking into, or just covering across Europe?
Yeah, I mean, we are Central Eastern Europe. That's our fishing net, I'd say. So, Balkans and Romania, Poland, Czech and Slovakia, a little bit of Austria. We get natural deal flows due to our past investments. But this part of the world, definitely, that's where we are focusing our efforts, and we believe that's the region to be at the moment.
Oh, for sure. I think I was reading a report, a couple of weeks ago, that the region overall is growing, twice as fast as Western countries. So I think it's definitely a very hot market right now. I have one more question for you, and then we can move on. Obviously, with what happened over the last year with COVID and the pandemic, what's your investment strategy moving forward? Are you more operational? Are you looking to continue investing in your current startups in your portfolio, or looking for new investments?
Well, I can tell you the figures, which I think is very interesting for anyone listening to us. We are soon reaching the 100 marks in terms of investment. In terms of supporting our COVID impacted companies, we put together two what we call COVID package. So you can see that we've been spared by COVID, and actually the two companies we put COVID package for are actually, probably for one of them, is probably the fastest growing company in our portfolio at the moment. So we really got spared in those COVID days. So we are looking at investing faster and more. That's our motto: go big or go home. And that's not going to change.
I like that.
Julian, you are known for being one of the most aggressive investors in terms of numbers per year you made. Are you keeping this pace, or are you increasing it because the kind of the competition on the capital market is getting stronger in a way?
Yes, I mean we are accelerating. I think we are increasing our pace by about 30% compared to last year. And that's probably what we're going to do until the end of our investment period. So, there is competition, that's true, but the region is still lagging behind in terms of capital available anyway. So, there are still plenty of opportunities. So we are very bullish about the region. And, next year we're going to think about raising our next fund. So that's just to keep on the pace.
Cool. So congrats for on the ambitious plans, and fingers crossed you reach the goals. But I don't even doubt that you will, even slightly. So ahead of us is a demo day, and you have Fil Rouge Capital has like dedicated demo day track. So first into track one, first companies that will present in track one will be from your portfolios. So maybe a few words about your portfolio. So any unicorns on the horizons, what can you expect?
I thought we were only talking about decacorns these days. I mean, look, I think I'll get killed by 200 founders if I was to single out one of them. I think, like in every portfolio, you have a very various way of performance, and it's also varies with time. It's difficult. We are excited by many. We invested in different stages. As you know, we run a pre-seed to Series A kind of investment strategy. So it all depends on the stage of the company. But I really don't want to single out one of them. I think we have many companies that are doing extremely well. And we feel very excited about our portfolio. We think we are very bullish, and we are super bullish about the region. So all of them are good, and you should listen to all of them and invest plenty of money in all of them, because you're going to make money in return.
That's a great promise. So where do I sign up? Another question, Julien. So for those who are out of this world or out of this region and happen to miss this information, what are the ticket sizes that you sign? So approximately.
We invest from 10,000 euro, which is what we call a startup school, which is really the man with the plan that comes to see us and say, look, I've got an idea. And we tell him, look, here is 10 grand, and form your company, get a co-founder, and come back to see us in 2 months to see if you can come to our accelerator, which is 50,000 euro. And outside of the accelerator, we found about 30 to 50% of our batches with an average ticket of 250. And then we go up to 1.5 million. So it's really pre-seed to Series A.
So, and also an accelerator is like an interesting part of your, also like a pipeline. What are the, let's say, the requirements to get a seat in the accelerator? How many batches do you do per year?
We do 2 batches per year. These days, we've got a lot of applications. So we are averaging 300 to 350 applications per batch. That's about 600 a year. We pre-select 40 for each batch, and we select an average of 15 per batch. So it's about 30 companies a year that get 50,000 euro of funding. And about half of that get the follow-on ticket with 250 up to 500.
And being part of the accelerator is not like necessary to get like a follow-up investment, right? So you can also invest outside of the batch.
Yeah, we invest about half of our money outside of our batch. We are not constrained by any obligations. We are free as birds. That's how we like it.
Just for a conclusion, how many birds from Fil Rouge Capital will be, scouting the startups in the following days?
5.
All
one
right.
of them is a very big one. It's me. I'm an eagle. You can see the profile.
We can barely fit you in the Zoom room, so
I know,
Julien,
that's my problem.
Thanks so much. Again, thank you so much for the support. See you in the demo day. See you in the following days. All the best to your portfolio companies and with searching for the next big thing in next days in the deal room. Thank you.
Thanks, Julian.
Now moving on to Tatiana. Tatiana Zabasu from South Central Ventures. Tatiana, hi.
Hello. Hi.
How are you?
Hi.
Well, glad to be here. A bit of let's say, fun into this great day.
It looks like you have a nice weather wherever you are at the moment.
Well, it's just the light, I'm afraid.
So South Central Ventures is also one of our, precious golden unicorn partners. Thanks again for the support. You're also here with a great team on Podim and also a great team of portfolio companies. Can you also maybe tell us a little bit about your fund, what you're looking for, investment strategy, etc., for all the eager startups looking for money? Yeah, listening.
Yeah, so we are investing in high growth technology companies. We're sector agnostic. We're looking for teams with great vision and something showing us that or proving that they the vision they have is really a great vision, but that they can also implement on that vision. So we are looking for companies that already have some slight traction on the market. We don't do things like Fil Rouge, for example, with this acceleration stage, but we do invest in reasonably early stages. And we're sector agnostic. We're just looking for like this great teams that see a market opportunity and know how to go after it.
You mentioned something that proves that there is something. What was the most unusual, this one thing that convinced you to invest in a company? And we
convinced. I don't know if it was like really unusual, but I guess sometimes what you see is like when you see a team that doesn't really have a lot of traction and a lot of customers or some history of doing business, but they come and they're so full of energy and just jumping and just sort of finishing each other's sentences and stuff like that, where you really see there's like great energy and great vision, and that they will execute on it. So I think it's not really like very unusual, but it's what you actually look for.
Tatiana, perhaps just to build up on what Urban just asked you, maybe can you tell us about what was your most exciting investment that you've done recently? And what was that excited about?
I guess, well, it's not so recent. It's, I would say, Cognizant, which was, let's say, my investment. So I actually got in contact with the founder first. And he was like really almost one-man band, but not entirely, because he did have like a team around him. But he's just like so full of energy and so determined that he'll make it. He just tells you like, or also when he was fundraising follow-on rounds, he just told us, next year I'm raising this and this much at this and this evaluations, and he actually executed on it, and he did it. And a couple of times actually the fundraise was even at a higher valuation than we expected. So that sort of keeps us excited about it.
And are there any startups you think in the region, or would you be looking for any startups that you think that are not just yet on the market? Any opportunities that you haven't seen being tapped just yet? I assume you're also focusing on the south central part of Europe. So have you seen, or are you expecting any startups trends coming out of this obviously very difficult year, coming more prominent in the upcoming 12 months or so?
Well, we've seen quite a lot of startups actually really using the opportunity and just finding the opportunity in this generally not so positive situation, including some companies from our portfolio that really were, whose growth was really accelerated during this past year. And I think it's not just due to pandemic, but it definitely helped. So I think these companies will just strive more. I mean, it's like everything that's related to remote work and changing work habits, changing organization of work, which also then relates to like some kind of tools and companies that actually deal with, let's say, human resources management, because there's also like, if you have remote teams, that changes slightly. So all the things that are related to this, I think they're here to stay. And I'm pretty sure there are companies from this region that will, become much more successful and noticeable, let's say, in the future months and years.
And just a couple more technical questions, especially for startups that are listening. What sort of assets under management we're talking about? How much has that been deployed? And what kind of investment goals you have this year, at least for the second half of the remaining year?
Yeah, so we're currently supporting our current portfolio companies. We have just over 40 million under management, and we plan to start our next fund in the fall this year. With that, we expect it to be around 70 million euros. So that we'll have plenty more funds available. And our sweet spot, really, our investments there are somewhere between 1 or 2 million euros per company initially, but then we would go up to 5 million per investment over the lifetime over the life cycle, let's say, of an investment.
Okay.
I'm always fascinated, Tatiana, with those, big numbers, because, nevertheless, I mean, South Central Europe is kind of also, taking the global perspective, it's not such a big region, right? So, and the talent pool is limited, how do you see this region as a potential for new company, especially for big companies, so for scale up? So. And decathlons and unicorn companies that Julien was mentioned. So we are kind of a tiny region in a way. The talent pool is limited. How do you see this growth potential and investment potential in this region?
Well, I think it was mentioned before that it's becoming more and more interesting. Also, more and more startups are coming from here. I would say, yeah, the talent pool definitely is limited, but compared to the population of this area here, I think the talent pool is like really great. But once companies really start scaling and become global companies, because you cannot really be a decacorn or unicorn if you're like a local or very regional company. I think you have to become global, and that necessarily means that also the talent pool then comes from different parts of the world, most likely. So I see also companies from this region, maybe acquiring companies in other places, or also just expanding their teams to maybe some other regions that are even let's say, maybe less known at this point, but also, merging with Western European or US-based companies. So I see this as some kind of, let's say, consolidation kind of thing later on, once the companies really start scaling.
Yeah, so they're not only, you're not talking about only the investment in the early stages of the companies, but also in this really precious expansion phase of companies where they're going really big. You also have quite a few really big global players doing just that. What are their key challenges in those times? Is this talent pool? Is this what could you like summarize the challenges?
I think probably for majority of our companies, yes, talent pool is one of the big challenges. The ones that are really growing fast, they definitely are facing this. Also, you see that there's a great competition for talent on the engineering side, so more technical stuff, but also on the sales and marketing, these positions. And we see more and more competition. So also some of our companies are actually, looking to expand their teams to, I don't know, Eastern Europe, maybe looking into, I don't know, Romania, Ukraine. Some are looking into South Africa. So it's very various, strategies in this respect. But definitely this is one of the biggest challenges, I think. And the other challenges are, of course, like when you start scaling, you start growing, then also you need to set up the organization, then you need, the proper COO and the proper CFO. So you're always like, when you end up looking for talent. And of course, growth, like growing your revenues, that's.
It seems like we lost Tatiana for a second.
Yeah, we lost. I'm sure we'll get her back. Tatiana is also with her team. Okay. Tatiana is back.
We have you back now.
Okay. I didn't even notice I was offline. So I hope you heard me. I don't know how much you lost, but what I'm saying is what I was saying actually. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we heard you. We heard you, and thanks for summarizing the key challenges. Of course, I'm sure that a lot of these challenges will be also addressed in the meetings in upcoming days, and also in the talks and great program. You and South Central Ventures team is also present here. I think 3 judges are from your team, so they will be scanning startups and judging. So looking forward. Thanks again, Tatiana, Jura, and your team for being such an active part of the Podim and our supporter. Wish you all good hunting in next upcoming days, and see you around.
Yeah, thank you, and wishing you a great event, and I'm sure it will be.
Thank you.
Now moving up to Gregor. Gregor, hi. Grega.
Yes, Grega here. Hey, how are you?
Good, very good. Tatiana, Diana, I will explain you in the break. We have many variations of name Gregor. So it was, usually my mistake that I addressed. So apologize, Grega. Super great to have you here. You're always smiling, super positive. ABC Accelerator is part of the Podim for ages, so you really appreciate your loyal partnership. Also this year you have great portfolio companies running around the deal room. Tell us about ABC Accelerator. What's your current batch? What you do? So how many batches per year? Just for those of you who are never heard from you.
Yeah, no problem. So basically, we are one of the largest private accelerators in the Central European region. We are focused on 3 things and 3 things only: building traction, revenue, and securing the next round of investment. At the end of the day, this is the most important for startups. With the beginning of COVID, we shifted fully online. So very personalized experience. During the last few years, we received a lot of awards for our acceleration methodology. And at the end of the day, we're looking for startups that are unique, that can make it happen, and that can disrupt the market. Just if we look at the last, let's say, 12 months, 5.3 million was raised from our startups. So quite a good number for this situation. And in this batch, we have a lot of potential startups in, let's say, a seed and pre-seed stage, and also a few scale-ups that are looking for corporate partnerships.
So, Grega, what is the basic deal they got on the table? So, from your accelerator?
Yeah, so basically we are looking here at the long-term partnership in exchange for between 6 and 8% equity. Each deal is kind of individual, and then we see where to go next. Our goal is that in a few years, our companies succeed to around 3 to 5 million evaluation. And at that point of time, we hope that they have already raised a few rounds of investment. We can also jump in capital-wise from very small kind of loans in a few thousands of euros and going up to a few hundred if the startups really have the potential. So we try to leverage all our network and our partners to make this happen. So from one side, corporate partners, from other side, network of investors throughout Europe, Israel, and US. So at the end of the day, if you're a good startup, you'll get the investment.
Right, just regarding you just recently announced a new batch. So which batch is this in a row? Do you have like, sector-specific batches or, and how many batches per year you do?
Yeah, you wouldn't believe it. Now we are already running in the 7th year. So this is our 13th batch. Quite a long journey behind us, and I hope also in front of us. Right now we have 8 very good startups that started just a few weeks ago, and this process will kind of have a full speed toward the summer. In the summer, we'll make a 1-month break and then continue on towards the new year, where we will organize also a big demo day for all the startups to present their results and to mingle with investors.
And Gregor, you mentioned that obviously what happened over the last year, you shifted everything online, so in a digital format. Obviously, it wasn't easy. I can assume. I've been with some other programs and with Gripe Ventures as well, transitioning through this. I'm curious that to actually hear about the opportunities of this, because I assume, and maybe you can tell me if that's right, that now being all digital, you can reach founders that are outside major cities, right? You can probably reach talent that were not in major hubs. Have you seen any change with your batch or your last 2 recent batches in terms of where people are coming from or where teams are joining from?
Yeah, it was a very interesting angle, and you're correct. With this online approach, we can reach anybody, and we can get meetings with very high-level experts and mentors, much more easily. So before this, traveling to Ljubljana, Slovenia, meeting in person, it was just one more kind of obstacle to go around. Now we can really dig deeper into the ecosystem, find the hidden diamonds that are still in the rough, and really get out the startups that are super unique. In that perspective, in the last year or so, we had more startups applying, more kind of work inside the acceleration part. And because of this, we are also now expanding the team, because doing everything online kind of appears to have more work, and so we are hiring now 2 new team members.
And I know you have the support of your founders, the corporates, also a lot of corporations, large organizations in Europe are launching their CVC, so there's plenty of funding sources. But is there a plan to launch your own fund maybe at one point?
Yeah, so we already tried this in the beginning of our development. So we have a ABC First Growth Fund that already invested in a few very good startups, and now we are trying to gather together a bit more exciting startups for bigger rounds and partner with bigger investors. So I think at this moment there's a lot of money on the market. So the supply of money is not such an issue. The supply of very unique startups, this is where we are experts at. So we'll stick to what we do best.
Thank you.
Greg, also one of your kind of, if I use the, pitching term, USPs is also the connection with the corporates. So in what perspective a startup can benefit from your really good partnerships with big corporations?
Yeah, a very interesting angle. So we have 5 corporate partners that are actually our supporters and owners from the beginning, and we have probably a few dozen of successful projects with other corporates, from local ones to international ones like IBM, Microsoft, UniCredit Bank, NASA, Italian Chamber of Commerce, and some international and local companies. And what's in common with all these corporates and bigger companies is they all want to somehow work with startups and open their doors, start pilot projects, and they look forward to convert these startups into kind of future customers or future in-house development units. And this is a great opportunity for startups to test the new market and to acquire a bigger amount of clients, users, and kind of move forward.
We'll definitely touch base and return to the corporate innovation and collaboration, corporation startups later, also tomorrow in the program. So thanks again, Grega, for joining us. You also have a great team here on Podim, so ABC Accelerator, look for them in the deal room. So not only to get an investment, but maybe also to get a job. So you see, the ABC is hiring. So thanks, Grega, and wish you all the best in upcoming days. Thanks again for support. And now moving thank you, to Robert. Hi, Robert.
Hello, good morning from Carinthia.
How is Carinthia? How is the weather there?
It started rainy. Now it's a mix of sun and clouds, so the afternoon seems to turn out sunny.
Okay, but unfortunately, no, the demo day is in the afternoon, so
you won't get to enjoy the weather.
Yeah, you have to give up the great weather for looking at the great startups. So Robert, again, you're also one of the loyal partners and great supporters of Podim from Carinthia. Group of companies and organizations. Thanks again at the beginning. Tell us a little bit about the build, the incubator, the Carinthian ecosystem, why it's so exciting. You are doing great things there and great opportunities for startups from many perspectives. Just maybe a brief pitch for Carinthia.
Yeah. As you mentioned, there is a group of companies supporting Podim from Carinthia. So we call ourselves Startnet Carinthia. It's an association of all partners in the startup ecosystem. And we are specialized at the field of IoT applications. So we are looking for startups who are interested and who come from the field of IoT applications. And during Podim, you will see, or you will get some deep insights in some of our fields. One of the deep insights will be tomorrow at 2 p.m. It's a deep dive on drones. So we have a group of people working on, they call themselves the specialists for flying robots. So it's not drones for playing around, it's flying robots. And one of that flying robots you could see in the last few weeks flying on Mars. It was Ingenuity. Ingenuity is programmed by a group of researchers from the Alpe Adria University, led by Professor Weiss, and they will give this deep insight. So that's a field of specialization we have. Besides another field, it's 5G applications, and we have 2 labs here, which can be used by everybody who is interested. So that's how to say our specialties we bring here.
So super exciting topics, and of course industries sort of 5G is closely connected to smart cities. So we have one of your experts joining the roundtable discussion on Wednesday about smart cities and opportunities there. So super great thing, and also when we are talking about the drones, right? Yeah, the first thought is always, these fun drones for, taking, cool angles and movies. But we are talking about industrial applications and real case drones. And you also have like a great, testing facilities because, I cannot use like a 50-kilogram drone and fly it around the city, right? Because it will be life-threatening. So you have a really great, testing facilities in Carinthia, right?
Yes, it's right at the place where we are. It's at Lakeside Park. It's a so-called drone hall. It's a 1,300 square cubic meter test facility with about 36 cameras mounted with a motion traction system. So industrial applications can get their field tests here. And of course, we can offer that facility to startups working in the field of drones.
Interesting. So maybe zooming into the incubator and startups you mentioned, are you like really industry focused? So you mentioned 5G, drones, flying robots,
IoT.
or IoT, or are you also accepting startups that are maybe complementary but not so much focused from these fields you mentioned?
So our focus is on tech startups. And most of our startups are in the B2B sectors. So I would say about 70% of our startups are in the B2B sector, 30% are in the B2C sector or B2B2C. So it's including, let's say, a broad range. But the common ground of that broad range is technology based.
And Robert, you mentioned your close work with the faculty there. Is that also becoming a more kind of strategic area of knowledge transfer and working, for example, with research institutions in terms of scaling those ideas? Or it was just a isolated case in that case?
No, it's a very close cooperation, and the group working on drones is not the only group we're working with. It's about more than 65 researchers in various fields working on high-tech areas. So it's on security issues, it's on cryptography, it's on data mining, it's big data, it's augmented reality. So it's a broad variety. But what we see is taking care of all these groups ends up for us with interesting batches of new startups.
That's right. And as Urban can also confirm, we have a panel discussion happening in one of these days about knowledge transfer, university spin-outs. But unfortunately, when we look at Europe overall, I think out of the 116 unicorns we have, it's not usually a handful of 4 or 5 that were actually university spin-outs. Where do you think this trend will go in the future? And what can we do actually to support this more? I think we're trying to get better, but we're not there yet at a Stanford standards as the US.
I think one important thing is that we develop an ecosystem with high standards for IPR regulations of researchers that come out from universities. And these regulations have to be very startup and industry friendly, so that the startups can go with their patents and their ideas and they own them. I think this is an important basis for every startup right in the beginning.
Thank you, Robert.
Maybe also to build on top of that, and also your background. Also, Carinthia is well known for cooperation with big corporates and technology companies with startup ecosystem. Can you a little bit, Robert, elaborate on that?
Yes, we have 2 cooperations with our industry partners, and that's a very good ground and a very good base for working on B2B businesses. So one cooperation is called Building Bridges, and it's a cooperation with the Austrian Association of Industries, and we started a cooperation with the industries in the province of Carinthia, and we want to expand that. And another cooperation it's called the Digital Innovation Hub South. It's a cooperation of 4 provinces in Austria. It's Burgenland, Styria, Carinthia, and east of Tyrol. And it's the basis for us to make up connections between startups and corporates when it comes to technology transfer, to the introduction of new technologies. And that is a good possibility for startups to get access to their first customers.
So Austria as country is also really, has a strategic approach to develop as a go-to region or a go-to country for the startups. So Carinthia as a region, also Science Park Graz is a great partner of Podim conference. So how do you see strategy of Austria as at a broader region? In terms of other competitive regions in the Europe, what is your position? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we have to overcome borders. We have to not see our close borders as the borders, because how to say, the international competition comes from various other areas in the world. So I think it's a very important thing that we work together in Europe and to work together cross-border, to work together within our country. As you mentioned, in Austria, we have an association. It's called the A+B Association. That's the Academia plus Business incubators. And we are organized in a network. So also working together within a country and over the borders of other countries, I think it's crucial for success in Europe.
Yeah, and collaboration is the name of the game also in our Podim and our big motto and motivation. And we really appreciate our partnership, our long-term partnership. So once again, Robert and your fellow organization, Jarnei and all our other friends from Carinthia. So wish you a really enjoyable Podim, fruitful Podim. We see you in sessions that you also mentioned, and can't wait to see the flying drones in the virtual space. Thanks again.
See you there.
So only a few minutes is before actually the demo day starts. So I think if I put my mind to the shoes of my team, they're now like
how are you feeling?
Super busy.
That's $1 million question.
Yeah, I'm feeling fantastic, but on the other hand, I want to be there and help them.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I'm super confident. We have such a great team, and I know they are having everything under control. It's really interesting partnerships building around the conference. It's not only the closest region. It's about the broader region. It's about the collaboration. So this is the most important thing about the event, and also all the different partnership and sponsors and companies that are on the Podim are like the best evidence that this is like the really important and big regional event.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen how many partners now, 4 or 5 already, just in the first half of the day, and they have such a strong focus on the region. I think it's just a great testament of how much the region actually has been growing over the last decade. And I think there's so much capital still to be deployed, so many startups still coming. I think actually conferences like Podim, they are, and maybe we can talk about this actually in one of our sessions, they build the infrastructure for what an ecosystem should be. They bring all these different academics. We have academics, right? We have partners, accelerators, VCs, startups, corporates, business executives, all coming together. And now in a digital platform, but hopefully next year in person.
Yeah, we all hope for this in person, but we also, on the other hand, well aware of all the reality restrictions that are still in place. We also hope this year about the more like a hybrid version, but it was unfortunately not possible. But
as many other events, and actually too many actually have been postponed. So we are here and it's happening. So I think congratulations to all the team putting this together. It's a big achievement.
Thanks. We are the team that didn't give up last year. We persisted and we pulled it through, and we didn't give up this year. So no matter the circumstances, we will do it. So we are here to stay. So count on us. And also, I mean, this regional representation is also well reflected in the program. So. We are really great that the CEO and the co-founder of the last Austrian unicorn, Eric Demuth from Bitpanda, will take part tomorrow in the program. So we are really also the program you mentioned that before is that a fraction of really best cases from all around the world. And I know that this will be the next 2 days will be super packed for the founders, because they have to, divide their time between the deal room and the program. But I'm sure there is, enormous value for them.
And I think we do need more founders, coming that had an exit, coming to the market, talking about that. And I think this actually trend is just growing. We've just had, some of the few exits happening over the last decade. I think it's a fast-growing trend, and hopefully these founders will not only come back to share, but also hopefully investing in some of the startups. This is how some of the venture studios started, with a founder that had a very successful exit. They knew how to do it. They created the infrastructure, and then they started a venture studio to help out the startups grow. Exactly. And this consistency is so important. And also, to close a little bit with this, partnership demo day introduction, we should move to not forget about the most important partner of the conference, the Slovene Enterprise Fund, which is providing like a great, programs for the Slovenian ecosystem. And it does that, by consistently year from year, providing like not only, seed money and also growth stage money to Slovenian founders, but also a rich variety of programs. So for hardware startups, for boot camps, growth academy, so everything, all the programs that someone needs to have. Or a startup needs to have to basically kick off and really starts big. Yeah. So this is really important. Also, I think there are 45 companies from the Slovene Enterprise portfolio, present here in the Podim. So really great companies. They will be in the deal room. So can't wait for them. And there are super exciting few days ahead of us. For sure. Maybe a question for you. So which part of the event are you most looking for? Well, I do have to be biased, unfortunately. Obviously, it's here and presenting with you. I do have a front seat, to be honest, that everything is happening. So I do like our duo. I get exposed to the panels. For me, agenda, even though networking, everyone would say networking, right? And that's still a huge part for me as well. I think you have covered such an eclectic range of subjects that it's going to be very difficult to just keep up with. We've seen knowledge transfer discussions. We have discussions around some of the, greatest challenges we're facing around sustainability, green energy. We have VCs and the future of investment. So I think agenda, to be honest, is one of the key things that really keeps me very energized right now. I have a good news for you. So all the agenda and all the, talks and panels will be, available in the Podim library afterwards. So for all we have, for all the ticket holders. So you will be, able to, watch the videos that you will not be, now able to catch. Everyone is going to turn to the networking part. No. Participating live in the panels is a totally different thing. Yeah, but they'll miss out on us. Yeah. And that's just not possible. It's a lot of competition on the plate. Come on, this is, Thanks again, Diana. Thank you for a really great kickoff. It was duo. A good warm-up. Yeah, good warm-up. And I'm absolutely sure that all the teams in the demo days are already super warmed up and are ready to kick off the pre-conference day. So exciting few hours ahead of us. So also all of the investors, business executives that want to look at the interesting startups, feel free to see the agenda, jump into the demo day sessions, and make sure you don't miss any great opportunity in following days. This is all for our studio for this opening part. So now moving on to the regie.
It's time to start Podim with a blast. It's time for Podim's Demo Day. We've got more than 100 startups pitching on 4 tracks. Each of them hopes to advance to the finals, earn the grand prize, and get an investment. Let's hear the next big idea.